Thank you so much. Okay. Hi. All right. So they said we could bring a prompt. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my prompt out. Pull it out and make it like the center of attention, as men tend to. And then I'm just gonna put it to the side. Literally taking my manhood and putting it to the side so that I can be vulnerable. Also, like, dicks and chairs. Yeah, my name is Charles Xavier Kilborn. Transculture is picking a cool name. Yes, I did name myself after Professor X. Thank you so much for joining me and us for this awesome event. So the topic is resilience. And it's funny because I end up in these spaces usually because I'm transgender, but that is just my way in. Because I found that my transition has little to do with my gender identity and more to do with my capacity for healing. And that's something that you're not taught. They just traumatize you and throw you to the wolves. They don't teach you how to heal, or that you can. So before I get into, I guess, the end of the story, the beginning for me is college. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and I knew in middle school that I didn't want to stay in Georgia for college, because in my mind it's like, I can just get away. If I can just get away, I can figure this life thing out. And I was just awkward and not happy. So I went to college, and I went to the college. I got accepted to Howard University. I was like, oh, this lit. I know when I get there, it's gonna be popular. Like, HU. And then I got there, and I had the best and worst years of my life simultaneously. So I got to college and then realized that I had been avoiding this person, this me. But it was great because I went from being very antisocial in high school and not having no friends to being in college and being popular. And I wasn't just popular with the gays, I was popular on campus. Why? Because I was like, yo, this is DC, and then if I hop this way, it's Virginia, and if I hop that way, it's Maryland. I got all kinds of stuff to do. I'm not just gonna stay on campus. So I dove headfirst into my alcohol addiction. I dove headfirst into lots of drugs and lots of sex and lots of fun, right? I had a great time. I had such a great time that I dropped out because I had several mental breakdowns that I refused to identify as such. Not even refused. I don't think that I had the knowledge of mental health and the fragility of it to really know that I was losing my damn mind, but I was. But yeah, so I'm in college, I'm living my life, I'm doing all these great things, and everybody loves me, and I hate myself. And I remember dating this girl, and she was this hippie, and would be talking to me oh, I can't wait, Chelsea, until you find your joy. And I'm like, joy? I don't know her. She don't go here. I ain't never met her. I ain't never heard about her. People talk about happiness, and that's a joke. Joy is literally just an extension of that joke. And we stopped dating because her happiness and her joy was disgusting to me. It made my skin crawl because I didn't believe it, because this wasn't something that I knew. So why you perping? You think that you happy. You're telling people that you're happy, but your life is shitty as far as I'm concerned, because I know your life, right? So let me get back to my drugs, my alcohol, my sex, because I'm popular and life is good, and I can't get this degree that I just spent $50,000 to try to get. I begged my mother to send me to this school, and I plumb lost my mind. So I dropped out, and I spent the year after that dissociating. I honestly couldn't tell you much about the space between me dropping out and me ending up back in Atlanta, but once I got there, within a week, I was admitted to Peachford Behavioral Health Center for a suicide attempt, because I had begged for a dream that I didn't realize I deserved, got it, and hated it. So I ended up in this hospital. And the thing with dissociation is that you can't remember very large gaps of time. So I can't remember much about being in the hospital, but I remember the women in my ward. I remember Miss Rose, 60-something-year-old recovering crack addict, who used to kept telling me, baby, you gotta stop letting people rent space in your head they ain't paid for. Right. Couldn't use it then, use it all the time now. And then Miss Brenda, that I shared a room with, who by the age of 18 had almost every bone in her body broken by her father and had been subjected to sexual assault and molestation from the age of 3. This woman checked herself into a facility and was all smiles to tell me that her beautiful boyfriend brought her, who was 10 years younger than her because she was living her good life. And he told her, sweetheart, just do what you need to do to be good, and I'll be here when you get out. And like all of these stories said to me that not necessarily like the breakdown or like the pain and like the hardship, the trauma. It literally just dawned on me that like trauma didn't have to be your whole life.